Hi, it's your Uncle Timmy. Um, all set up to rate some Doctor Who aliens. Got my scarf, got my little TARDIS necklace, and I'm ready to go. Um, Notice my TARDIS T-shirt as well. Anyway, um, yeah, I'm not a Whovian. Actually, yes, I am. So I want to rate some aliens. I want to rate 10 of them. Technically, there's 11 because there's a tie. So, so here we go. We're going to rate some aliens. We're going to get right into it. Um, the first alien that I like, number 10. Um, I absolutely adored watching the 11th hour. The 11th hour was probably, well, it was where I fell in love with Matt Smith. I automatically fell in love with him. Um, Great lines came from the 11th hour. Fish fingers and custard, which I've yet to try, but I'm going to. Um, um, Beans are bad. Beans are evil. Um, you're Scottish. Fry something. Um, and bow ties are cool. It's because of Matt Smith that I love wearing bow ties. So, um, great episode. It's what I fell in love with. So, number 10, Alien Prisoner Zero. Prisoner Zero has escaped, and how did he escape? He escaped from the crack in space and time. Right there, that. And so he he was creepy in that you could see him from the corner of your eye, and you don't really notice him. You just notice that there's something there, and it's not until you actually turn and face him that he becomes really dangerous. um, Loved that. I loved the extra door in the hallway, that you notice without noticing until you actually look. It was just everything about Prisoner Zero. The fact that he could actually take the shape of somebody who was in a coma, or something that he could see, even though he kind of got signals mixed. Um, it was it was it was a creepy episode, and that's a creepy alien, and so it was that was kind of cool, and the prisoner guard that came and was going to destroy the world, um, and of course then the doctor said, make sure everyone knows that the earth is protected. um, Absolutely fabulous episode, and creepy alien, that is snake like, absolutely, absolutely just creepy. So, um, next, um, next on my list is Living Plastic. First time I saw Living Plastic was with, it was in the very first episode of Chris Eccleston, um, and I know that Living Plastic was there in the 70s. It was one of, I believe, Tom Baker's episodes, um, and really creepy, um, and and fun at the same time. The mannequins coming alive, and all of that. It's just I remember as a kid, feeling that very same fear that the mannequins were going to come alive and come and get me or something. I don't know. Vivid, crazy imagination. Never mind. That's beside the point. Anyway, um, Living Plastic. Um, just just really creepy, and of course, you cannot beat Chris Eccleston. I adored him. I loved him in Heroes. And when I realized that he was the doctor, technically my first doctor, um, and I've gone back and I've watched classic episodes, so um, I'm very well versed, not as versed as some, but I'm very well versed in um, Doctor lore. So um, so number 9, living plastic. Um, Number 8, the Great Intelligence. I don't really know the intelligence from classic Doctor Who. I know the Great Intelligence starting from the Snowmen and that episode where Clara is first introduced. Actually, that's not the first time she was introduced, but Clara was introduced um, as somebody who is actually one of the Doctor's companions, and um, really enjoyed the nanny persona of Clara. I loved Clara with Matt Smith. Um, I thought their dynamic was fun. It wasn't quite to me Amy, Rory, and River, but it was I liked it. Um, and I really liked the Great Intelligence in that he was creepy, but then move it to Trenzalore, and the Great Intelligence demanding the Doctor's name. Um, the um, the prophecy the prophecy of Trenzalore on the fields of Trenzalore at the fall of the 11th, when no living creature can speak falsely or fail to answer, a question will be asked, a question that must never, ever be answered. And what was that question? Well, we all know what that question was. That question was, what is the Doctor's name? Doctor Who. So it was really, really, really the the intelligence is creepy in all of that. So I liked the intelligence. That's number 8. Um, Number 7, the you guessed it, it's the potato guys, the Suntarns. Gotta love the Suntarns. And in particular, I love Strax. I think Strax is absolutely adorable. He's so funny. He's so pugilistic and hysterical all at the same time. He makes me giggle. I like the Suntarans. All they are all about is killing. They're just all about the battle. And so I do. They belong there on the list. And frankly, if I could place them higher, I probably would. But I can't, because the others that are to follow, you're gonna probably agree with me on this. They're just below these others. Um, so yes, we've we've gone through we've gone through number 7. Now number 6 is related, and they aren't technically aliens, um, because they were here on Earth before people were, and that is the Silurians. They are the Homo reptilius, or the Reptilia sapiens. Loved the Silurians, and they weren't really bad guys. They were just they they were upset because the apes overtook the Earth, and they had to go underground and go into hiding. And I loved that episode. They were trying to when they were trying to build a compromise as to where the Silurians can live, and what people of the world were going to be able to um, give up and spread out. Maybe they could actually make both species work in harmony. Um, However, the war machine on both sides, the pugilists on both sides, um, destroyed that, and they had to go back into hibernation. Um, and then comes Vastra, and I love Madame Vastra. I think she is okay. So first of all, she's beautiful. Um, Madame Vastra is just great. I absolutely adored her. So the Silurians, um, they're number 5 on my list, and a lot of that is because of Vastra. A lot of that is because of the Doctor, the scientist. Wish I could remember his name, but um, but he was so caring, and he was so sympathetic and empathetic to the apes, as opposed to the war machine of the Silurians. So number 5, the Silurians. Now we're going to get into the top 4, and well, technically I guess top 5. And number 5, or well known, let me say number 6, I guess. Number 5 is the tie. So the first one is the Zygons. I love the Zygons. Those sucker crested creatures that can take on any shape. Shapeshifters. I have a thing about shapeshifters. I kind of if I could be a shapeshifter, that I would probably be. And my Dungeons and Dragons character is somewhat of a shapeshifter right now. He can turn into any land animal that he loves. Yes, and that's how much of a geek I am. I also play D&D. But anyway, I like shapeshifters. I find them fascinating, and the Zygons are evil shapeshifters, which kind of turns me on a little bit. And for the Day of the Doctor, when Tan is flirting with Queen Elizabeth I, and he realizes that the horse is a Zygon. That's kind of that was really cool, actually, and the Zygon who took the shape of Queen Elizabeth, and all of that, and then Elizabeth realizing that she needed to get rid of that Zygon and needed to pretend to be the commander of the Zygons. Very cool. I love the Zygons. Creepy creatures, and I know that they've been in the classic Doctor Who as well. I don't actually remember seeing that episode or those episodes that they were a part of. So they were cool in and of themselves, and the episode was really awesome. So the Zygons are 5A. 5B, really creepy, guys. And again, I'm not really sure if they are actually Terran or if they are extraterrestrial, because I know they've been on Earth for a very long years, many millennia, and that's the Silence. The Silence are so creepy, and they are actually the I guess the cliche of what a alien looks like, with the long heads and very thin chins and big eyes. Um, so the silence is really, really creepy. And what I like about them is that you know what you're looking at when you look at it, and then you turn away and you're instantly, you have no memory of them. And um, the hash marks as they were going and searching for everything, and they've got the hash marks on their arms and all of that, how many they've seen and that type of thing. Absolutely, absolutely, just creepy, wonderful aliens. Um, love the episodes that have to do with the silence, and the silence will fall. Um, and and I just the whole tenure of Matt Smith, most of the aliens that I really, really, really love are essentially Matt Smith era. Um, but then there are those that come from Eccleston and Tennant, and and I love the silence. The silence was just because they were so creepy and because they were so in the back of your head type thing. It was just, I liked it. So so that's 5B. So now we go to 4, and this is, I love these creatures because they look like E.T. grown up. And that is the Slitheen from Raxacoricophalopatorius. Yes, I know their planet. Um, Raxacoricophalopatorius is probably one of my favorite words to say at all times. I'm going to try to find a way to put that into a conversation at all times I possibly can. Um, I may actually even try to figure out a way that I can use it in Dungeons and Dragons for my character. Somehow Raxacoricophalopatorius will fall from the lips of my character, um, because I just love it. But the Slitheen, in particular, and I never could remember her name, so I had to write it down. In particular, Beyond Felfitch Pasamir Day, Slitheen. Um, she was so cool. I loved her. I liked her sneakiness, and when she became the Lord Mayor of Cardiff and was trying to figure out how to go back to Raxacoricophalopatorius, and I think she was going to overtake it, but I don't know. She just wanted to escape the Doctor before she was sent back, and I I really enjoyed her, and I enjoyed the Slitheen. You know, when I first realized that Slitheen was just the family, and it was not the planet from which they came. Um, and then they started saying Raxacoricophalopatorius. Do you see how many times I've said it? I love that word. It's just cool. Um, but that they were just an exiled family. That was cool. Um, but the Slitheen are creepy in that they are such they're the mafia. They're the Corleones of Raxacoricophalopatorius. So, and that's just awesome. So um so that's that. That's number 4, the Slitheen from Raxacoricophalopatorius. I don't know how many more times I'm going to say that. Probably no longer, because now I'm going to move on to number 3. Number 3 is, of course, the Master. Um, the Master was. The Master has been a part of the show and a part of um, Time Lord lore since almost the beginning. And um, Classic Master, I have not been able to actually find and watch because I really want to see what Classic Master was like. I know the Master from, unfortunately, Eric Roberts' attempted version at the Master with Paul McGann, and frankly, that movie was a decent concept but poorly executed, and I think that's because the BBC had very little to do with it. Um, but the Master, because he was a friend of the Doctor's from Gallifrey, and yet then decided to turn toward evil, and I mean he's like the Darth Vader to Obi-Wan, for lack of a better analogy, I guess. Um, and I just really liked him. Loved John Sim playing the Master, but more than that, loved Michelle Gomez as Missy. I loved Missy. I loved her snark. I love her giggly evil persona. I loved the play. Michelle Gomez, I think, made a better Master than even John Sim. And John Sim, I mean, from the time that he was calling down Gallifrey to even before that, when he was the Prime Minister, and then everybody in the world turned into the Master. I mean, awesome bad guy. And many people who have been with Doctor Who from the very beginning, or from Tom Baker days anyway, and who have watched further back episodes since they started rerunning here in America. Tom Baker was the one that he was the Doctor when it moved over to America from the UK. But Classic Master, apparently he was really creepy and really evil, and I think I'd like the Classic Master, but from the Master that I know, John Sim and Michelle Gomez have it hands down. Eric Roberts doesn't even really count as far as I'm concerned, and I love Eric Roberts, always have. But so that brings us to the top two. And number two is, I think, pretty self-evident to most people: the Daleks. From the Supreme Dalek to Davros to the Rainbow Daleks. They're just so fun. I would love to find a plushie that says "exterminate" every time I lay my head down on it. I love the Daleks. I'm sorry. I'm even about to make a vest using Dalek material, just because I love the Daleks. They're classic. They were there from the second series of episodes with William Hartnell. The first series being Cavemen, and they weren't even supposed to be really a part of Doctor Who lore, but Verity Verity pushed it. Um, the the producer at the time of the beginning, she pushed it, and she got the Daleks to be accepted by the BBC, and everybody loved the Daleks almost immediately. Um, they were they were a very strange hybrid um, of humanoid and robot. They were essentially kind of the first cyborgs. Um, they were they were there before even the Cybermen were, and so love the Daleks. And um, the fact that Clara was at one point a Dalek and she didn't even know she was a Dalek, that was really cool. And and when she was able to change the whole mind of the whole collective mind of the Daleks, to forget who the Doctor was, that was a little odd for me, but it was kind of cool at the same time, that she was able to do that because um, first of all, it let them escape the Dalek asylum, but at the same time, um, on the other side of that coin, you kind of want the Daleks to continue pursuing the Doctor, and so I hope to see the Daleks more. Um, so they're really cool. Anyway, so that was number 2. Now, number 1. My number 1 alien happens to be them right there, the Weeping Angels. What I love about the Weeping Angels is they don't kill normally. They touch you and they send you back into time. That's how they survive, by the time displacement. And so they throw you back into a time before you were born. So you essentially live out your life. You don't actually die, but you die naturally in a completely other time, and that is, to me, creepy as hell, and it's just that's what I love about the Weeping Angels, and you have to have somebody looking at the angel at all time. Don't blink. That's what number 10 says to Sally Sparrow. Don't blink. And so you have to have somebody looking at them at all times. Otherwise, they stop being stone and they come and get you. And coolest way of killing the angels that I saw yet was when they were surrounding the TARDIS, and the Doctor and Amy escaped by or not Amy, the Doctor and Martha escaped by just there goes the TARDIS, and there's 4 of them, and they're all looking at each other, and they can't move because they're all looking at each other. So that is so cool. That is just awesome. I don't know. I think the Weeping Angels. Obviously, the Weeping Angels was really cool because they're the second tattoo on my sleeve that I got. The TARDIS, the crack in time and crack in space and time, and then the Weeping Angels. So that's my list. We got Prisoner Zero at number 10. We have Living Plastic at number 9. We have The Great Intelligence at number 8. Santarans at number 7, with Strax being the special one there. We have the Silurians at number 6. The Silence and Zygons tied for number 5. We have the Slitheen from Raxacoricophalopatorius. And we have the Master. In particular, Michelle Gomez, John Sim coming right there, right following right after her. And, of course, Eric Roberts way down at the bottom. Not having seen the first 2 Masters in the classic series, I couldn't tell you. Then we have the Daleks, the Supreme Dalek and Davros both. All of them just really cool, but the colored Daleks are just awesome. And at number 1, the Weeping Angels, because they're so creepy and wonderful. So that's my list, and that's the end of this video. If you want to have me rate some more stuff, whatever it be, send a comment. Find out what I like, how I like it, all of that stuff. So so that's pretty much it for now. So I'm gonna turn this off, and then I'm gonna edit this video and put it right on. So see you later.